Well, good morning again, everybody. My name is Pam, and I'm welcoming you to another edition of You and Me and Multiple Sclerosis. And I kind of envision this as sort of an online support group for those of us who are living with multiple sclerosis, making lives for ourselves, regardless of what our health and our bodies throw at us. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit today about a question that I was asked. A friend of mine, a really good friend, who has had MS also for about the same amount of time that I have had it, so that we have a lot of experience with the course of the disease and the different doctors and medicines and that sort of thing. We talk a lot. But she asked me yesterday a question that really kind of stopped me and got me thinking. She asked me, what is my purpose in life? And I really had to stop there. I wasn't quite sure how to answer that. And at the time, I know I gave her an answer. But it's a question that deserves more thought. So I have been thinking about it. And a number of thoughts passed through my head, even as she was asking me the question. I thought, well, that's a huge issue, right? I thought about, what do you want on your tombstone? I've heard people say things like that. And I've heard people say things like, well, what do you want people to say about you at your funeral? And then you'll know, no, you won't know actually what your purpose was, because other people may have a different idea about your purpose than you did. But given that people at funerals and people who carve things on tombstones tend to want to put the best foot forward, and we will not use the word phony, but it could kind of cross over into that territory. Let's not even go there. Let's just think a little more about whether someone with a chronic illness has an answer to the question of what is your purpose in life, and how that answer might be, I don't know, kind of different maybe. I think too about how my life progressed. I didn't have MS in my younger years, and I did have goals, and I was working toward things. So I might have said, at any given moment, I might have told you that I had a purpose in life, and my purpose in life was to do X, right? Okay, I'm interrupting myself, and it's an interruption because I'm wearing a different shirt, if you can tell. But I realize that I am referring to both goals and purposes, and I want to be sure that you know that I know those aren't the same thing. So here we go. A purpose, right? So the purpose of your life changes less often over your life. So you might have a purpose all the way through your life, the same one, or, close to the same one. Many of us do. And it might take different forms during your life. For example, if your purpose in life is to be a caring human being, you might start out being a caring sibling, or a caring child, or caring for your friends at school. And over time, it might be caring for your spouse, caring for your children, caring for your friends. It kind of carries out through the whole life. But as the second point, your goals are different. Your goals should support your purpose, right? That's kind of the idea, because if you don't actually have a purpose, well, your goals aren't going to move you toward anything in particular, right? If you what's the old saying, that if you don't know where you're going, any route will do? But maybe that's not what we really want. And I think most of us feel like we should have an ultimate goal, a purpose in life. So if you don't actually have some interim goals, you're not really supporting your purpose. But any goal that you have, it should be in support of your purpose. So there's my interruption, and thank you for hanging in there with me on that little bit of confusion. And now back to the rest of the video. When I was in college and graduate school, my purpose was to get a degree, I suppose, to study, to do the best I could, to think ahead to what kind of career I might want to have once I was done with my degree. Once I was in the workforce, then I had a specific purpose because my job kind of dictated that in a way. Now, I know that's not true for everybody, but it's kind of the way I approach things, and I imagine many of you are the same way. We're going to go into this thing wholeheartedly, right? And I was a manager, actually. So I kind of saw my purpose in life as to make a good work experience for my staff. And I don't know whether I succeeded at that or not, but that was a goal I had all the way through. I thought, how can I, as a manager, not only do all the things my boss expected of me, but to help my staff enjoy their work, be rewarded as they like to be rewarded, advance when there were opportunities to advance, take on assignments in areas that would be of interest to them, all that sort of thing. I found that to be a really fulfilling purpose. Well, here I am, though, at age 61, not in the workforce anymore, done with my degree. I just finished it in April, so I'm done with my degree. What is my purpose in life now? And so that question still needs an answer, doesn't it? And I just can't help but think that one thing that has changed, maybe not under the surface, but more explicitly, is that I really now see that my purpose in life has less to do with me and more to do with other people. And I'm not vying for the halo over my head or anything like that. That's not what I mean, really. But as you get older and you've done your thing, what's there left to really accomplish? What pressures are you really under anymore from bosses or anyone else? I mean, we live a pretty quiet, retiring life, but we do have some friends that we care very much about. And so my purpose in life, for as long as I am allowed to be here, is, and the nice thing is, it doesn't matter whether you have MS or not, it's the same purpose. It has to do with how can I be friends? How can I be a good friend to the people in my life that I care about? How can I be a good brother, sister, or daughter to my family? How can I be those things? So in other words, instead of being so me-focused, I think now that I'm at the point in life where I'm at, I'm more others-focused. And I think that, it's kind of amorphous then. You don't really have specific goals as you did when you were younger, at least for me. They're more general goals. Because I don't really know what life's going to throw at me as far as situations or even people that I might meet or people that might leave my life for one reason or another. So I don't really think I should do really specific goals. I think my goal is just going to be a general goal. But I was reminded of something that I had read fairly recently. It's a quote by John Wesley, and John Wesley was the founder of Methodism. So the Methodist churches, they were all founded essentially by John Wesley and his brother Charles. And the thing that he's most famous for saying, I will go ahead and pull that up here for you. Okay. His famous quote, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can." Well, that's not very specific, is it? It's a pretty challenging statement for sure, but it's not very specific. It assumes that you don't know in advance what means you might have, what ways might be available to you, what places you might be in, what times, what people, And you don't know how long you're going to be able to do any of that. So I look at it and I think to myself, that's actually a pretty good statement of purpose. It's a little lengthy, I will say, but it's a good statement of purpose for me at the place I'm at right now. Well, how about you? Have you thought about that? What is your purpose in life? And are you the kind of person who likes to make goals and achieve them? Or are you a more laid back person that isn't really sure, that you have any big goal in life or even a purpose in life? Do you sometimes feel maybe like all of that is for other people or that it's passed you by? I'd really be interested to know, because just because I said what mine was, that doesn't mean I'm saying everybody should feel the same way or have the same purpose. It's a very personal thing, right? We're all different people, and thank goodness for that, because we have a lot to contribute in various areas. I will not be the one doing brain surgery or building bridges or even coming up with the best bundt cake recipe, but the things that I do know how to do, I feel like I can continue to do them. So that's kind of where my thoughts are going today. I'd be really, really interested to know what yours are in the same subject, because it just would be fun to learn from each other, to compare notes a little bit maybe. There might be some things that you just need a little encouragement to take on and try. And I would love to be able to do that for you.